devil has tinnitus too.
Become a snob, big time.
What are you drinking? Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Peasant.
Plebe. Grow up.
Get away from me.
You still drinking donkeys?
All right, we ready? We good?
Sure.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, we're not good, but go.
No, we're not. Start over.
Close it up. We're done.
Today's episode is a little different. We're not just talking to guests about a scene we heard about. Andy and I were part of Twin City Hardcore too. Sam was there with Entropy, and now his son Isaac is playing heavy music in his own bands and in his own era. So this one is about Entropy, SoundOutTheBraille, father and son, old scenes, new scenes, and what gets passed down when heavy music becomes part of your family. So Sam, when you hear about Twin City Hardcore now, what comes back first? A band, a room, a person, a show, or just a feeling?
All of it. It all started at Club 490 for me. And it all revolved around a couple of my friends' bands, Bound and Dive, really. And then like we started our band. It's all of it. I think we're all pretty blessed because we came from a scene that was full of really talented people.
Yeah.
And I think we took that for granted. I mean, like Matt's and Dropkick Murphys, and they're huge. Like Brian Fair went on with Shadows Fall, and they're huge. And like, you know what I mean? Mike D, Killswitch Engage, like these are bands that like changed the world, not just our local area. So I think we all kind of took that for granted growing up. We all thought every band is this good, or
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure. I think I knew that we had something special. You could feel it. I mean, maybe not to the extent of what it became, like you said, but we knew what we had there was our little community, and you felt it was awesome, you know?
Yeah.
Before we get into like band history or dig too deep into history, was there a moment where either of you realized this is not just my thing, this is our?
I'll let him answer that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, man.
That might be a better question for you, Isaac.
I don't know. I feel like I've always kind of thought like that. Like we've always kind of had similar shit, and it's always been like to do with each other. At least for me.
Is it because of your dad? Like,
yeah. It's all
influenced by all the bands.
It's all influenced from him.
Cool.
I think he absorbed it through osmosis, really.
Sure. I think that's what we're going for.
He was exposed to it from the beginning. You know, I mean, I have a running joke that we had Black Sabbath playing in the delivery room when he was born. That not actually true, but it's pretty close. He grew up listening to music with me from I have memories of him in a vibrating chair as an infant watching the Iron Maiden Live After Death video. And he is just mesmerized. And I know that's how I was as a kid. You know, I come from like a very artistic family filled with musicians and artists and sculptors. And I've always been drawn to art since the time I was born. And, you know, I think that somehow that's in certain people's blood in a way. You know, some people have no appreciation for art and music, and that blows me away because I can't spend a single day without listening to music. Yeah. Like to me, it's like, what? I don't know if it's, for me, it's, I don't know, like the hardcore scene in general, I think is really developed by people from pretty tough backgrounds, broken homes, broken families, addiction, substance abuse, things like that in their families. And, you know, I think that a lot of kids found sort of a culture there, like an outlet. And it's like therapy, to be honest.
It's an escape.
It's an escape, you know, like video games or anything else, you know, but it's a social thing. It's a...
to find people, like-minded people that you connect with.
Yeah. Like I was a metal guy first off. I had a death metal band when I was like 14, 15. We had started this death metal band. And Mark, the singer from Entropy, him and I went to high school, best friends growing up. He got asked there was a girl we knew who was dating a guy from Fitchburg who was in a band, and they were looking for a bass player. And Mark played bass, and he was a metal. And she was like, you should go try out. And he's like, what do you think? I'm like, dude, go for it. Why not? And that's how sort of we got introduced to this scene, because we're not from Twin Cities. Like, I grew up in Templeton. Mark did too. Like, we grew up down the street from each other, really. But, I remember going to like my first show at 490. I can't remember what the first one was, but I'm pretty sure it was Pressure Point was playing, because Mark was in the band. He had joined Pressure Point. That became Bound, Hatchet Face. When Mark left the band was when Bound became Hatchet Face. They got Matt's brother Mike to play bass. So that was like my introduction to it. I was like a metal guy. I had no idea what this hardcore thing was, And then I went to my first show, and the dancing and the kids flying around and singing along all together was like something I had never experienced before. And it just sucked me right in immediately. I immediately felt like this was something for me. This is a safe place for me. This is I was immediately welcomed into the scene, even though I was the metal guy with long hair. And, I had no idea who all these bands were, but I learned pretty quick.
What was it like for you?
I had this friend JoJo. I met him at the skate park, and he kind of introduced me to all these bands and showed me like a lot of the music. I mean, he did too. You did. Yeah, me and him started the band, and then that's kind of how I got introduced to going to local shows. Was my old band.
Do you remember your first show?
Yeah. We played it in Amherst at this library, and.
Amherst, Massachusetts?
Yeah. And we sucked. But
nice.
But you still did it, though,
yeah.
right? Yeah. But you kept playing.
Still awesome.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first show you went to as an audience member, not as a...
Yeah. My dad brought me to go see Judas Priest.
Nice. How old
Good
were
first
you?
show.
9.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
So,
good job, Sam.
Oddly enough, Judas Priest was my first show.
Oh, cool.
I was like 13. I saw him on the Painkiller tour.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And,
Awesome.
changed my life. That was like, it was it. That was it. Like, for me, it started real early. Like, I heard Black Dog from Led Zeppelin when I was probably like 4 years old, and was like, what is that? Who is that? What is that sound? And that was like, it was like the entire trajectory of my life was set out to me in that one.
Yeah.
And it's never stopped. I'm 50 now.
Yeah.
And all I think about and all I do is play guitar and go to shows.
Yeah.
I love the scene. I love the people. I love the camaraderie. I'm not afraid of it. I've listened to every episode of you guys' podcast, so I have
Thank you for that, sir.
I'm a fan of yours. And so I have a lot, I have opinions on all the things you guys have talked about. So
Awesome.
welcome to, I'm happy to weigh in on it.
Yeah,
if
we're
you'd like,
we're definitely going to dig into that.
Yep.
It sounds like there's always been art and music in your house. So you both live in a house where you're immersed in it.
Yes.
And so when you first heard or knew that Isaac was interested in playing music, what was your reaction? What was your initial?
It was pure joy.
Nice.
I can tell you, it was sort of always a dream. Like I hope he gets into music, because like Mark, his son is very, very much into sports and stuff like that. He's been to a couple of shows, but it's just not his thing. He's not it didn't grab him in the same way. And Mark said that, it's amazing that you and Isaac have that thing together, that he really gravitated towards the music, and I didn't push it on him. That's the thing. Like, it was just there, and he liked it too. I have videos on my phone, I think, somewhere of him. He's probably like 3 years old, singing Aussie songs. Like, people would stop us at Walmart because he was 2 years old, screaming Crazy Train at the top of his lungs.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I think certain people, it just grabs you, and right away that this is going to be my thing.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? This is where I belong.
It is in your blood, I feel like, Agreed.
I think so,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because even, like you said, you hear a certain sound when you're young, and you're just gravitated towards it. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
I need more of that.
Yeah, hearing the bass drum thump at a show, it's like just gets you moving. I don't know. It's
absolutely, it's a certain feeling.
Yeah.
You just can't explain it. But
What was your first instrument? Was it drums?
no piano.
It was
I
piano.
played
no way.
piano for like 2 or 3 years, and then I stopped, and then I didn't play anything for 2 years ish.
You played a lot of Minecraft.
Yeah, mostly video games.
That's cool.
But then I started playing the drums, and I don't know, it just like sucked me in.
Yeah,
it just hit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got him an electric kit, and I had a little amp, and I remember being up in his room the first time he was playing a little beat, and I was playing a little riff, and all of a sudden it was like we were playing together, and his face lit up, and it was like I'm playing music with my dad right now. And it was something I'll remember for my entire life. And I'm like, I can feel the emotion in my face right now. Like my eyes are getting filled up because it means that much to us.
I'm sure.
You know,
that's awesome.
It really does. It's, you know, I'm a supporter. You know, I want him to do what he wants with his life and play music. And you know, I'm not one of those parents that's like, you need to do this. You know, you need to be a lawyer. You need to make all this money. I don't chase money. Like I chase happiness.
And it just happens to be the pursuit of music and art just happens to be something that's meaningful to you as well. So.
Incredibly.
Yeah. The rest of my life is going to be revolved around music.
Excellent.
I can tell.
That's awesome. I think a lot of people too, like father and son, like usually the kids are like, oh, that's your music, lame. You know, so it's cool you guys have that connection.
Well,
it's not
we still go through that. We still go.
Okay.
Yeah, because
okay, good.
It's funny because his trajectory of musical taste has kind of paralleled what mine was. Like he got into like Black Sabbath and Judas Priest and classic rock and stuff like that first, and then he got into like metal and death metal, and then Doom.
Heavier.
He was a big Doom guy, and then when he discovered hardcore, that was it. You know, and he's been very focused on that scene, and I've always listened to rock and metal. You know, I've always been more of a classic rock guy. You know that. It's, you know, that was like my dad's music. So that's what I grew up with. And so I'll always love that. And so stoner rock, when that whole scene kind of developed, it was like a reawakening for me because I kind of felt like at the time metal was kind of, it's all, you know, you got a few great bands and then all the newer bands seem to be mimicking the older bands rather than trying to forge their own way or do their own thing. I kind of got into the stoner rock thing. It was like a whole new library of music, a whole new scene to get into. And I'm very much involved in that now, and I try to get him into it. And he's like, I'm just not into that, Dad. I'm into the mosh beats. I want breakdowns. I want people swinging fists around, you know. And so, you'll come around eventually.
Yeah, it's kind of Crowbar. Crowbar is like on that line.
Yeah, Crowbar is. Crowbar is.
Yeah,
if you don't love Crowbar, there's something.
Stop listening.
Yes, interview over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to ask about that. If you guys, I don't assume you align band for band, but
no, we definitely don't.
Yeah,
we definitely don't. He's always showing me all of his new bands. It's like, this sounds like all these other bands that I've been. I've been in those pits, not in the pit, but at those shows, and hearing that my whole life. You know what I mean? So for me, it's not fresh and new, but for him, it is. And go for it, man.
So you guys are going to write a new Entropy record with all breakdowns? Can't wait.
Yeah.
Mosh beats.
Yeah, I don't know.
A couple blasts here and there, but
all blast beats.
Just that's it. One straight blast beat.
That'd be nice.
The last 30 seconds, just breakdown.
Right.
That's it.
The whole album's 30 seconds.
And Mark doesn't change his face. He's been a machine the last two shows. Like,
he's been ripping it.
Unreal.
He has, He's.
You guys have been on.
The thing is we don't even get to rehearse. That's the thing. If we rehearse once a month, twice a month, we're doing good.
Wow.
We're all older, except for him. We're all in our 50s now, you know. So
it doesn't show though. You guys are playing better. I feel.
Oh, thank you.
Seriously, I mean,
I think so. I think
it's tighter.
I think that we're more going back to the broken homes and drugs and alcohol and all that stuff. You know, we were all pretty heavy drinkers when we were younger, and that was a big part of our band falling apart. You know, and none of us are now. So we're like, I got to give credit to Isaac actually, because we had no intention of, there was never any talk of us getting back together or anything like that. He was pushing for it. He's like, Dad, you're in this band that all of my friends just adore. Like, the scene needs you. You guys should be playing shows. Like, what are you doing? And so he kept pushing us. And so, I had to talk to Mark. Hey, what do you think? Like, maybe there's a need for this. Maybe we should do it. So we got together last year. We started, we wrote a list of songs. We played a bunch and we're like, dude, this is awesome. Like, why did we stop doing this?
Yeah, I mean, when I think of like Twin City, I think of Entropy, and like, I don't know.
Fair.
That's my dad. Like,
like my dad's in a grindcore band.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We got to get into that now because I'm really interested to hear how that came about. What? Because in that time, like, how did you guys actually consciously construct Entropy with the way it sounded, or did it just happen that way?
Yeah,
because
I'd like
back
to know that
the
too.
early days.
Yeah, because it's a very distinct sound for that, and you guys were on kind of your own with that.
Yeah, and I don't think
There was a lot going on into it. There was so many different kinds of bands.
Right.
In
There
Twin
were.
City.
Yeah.
And so there was all these different pockets and corners. So
I
we
think-
all had like scenes. There were like these micro scenes that sort of crossed over each other.
But everyone played together too, which was cool.
And everybody hung out together,
I think for me personally, death metal was a big influence on me at that time. When Justin and I hung out a lot, we were like, we can write some pretty nasty stuff. And Mark Evans was always a guy who wanted to push the limits on the drums. That's who he was. He's a very focused and hard-driven person, and that's what he always pushed to be something different than everybody else. And I think that's what all of us were. I have no interest in being another band. I don't want to clone another band. I don't want to, so many bands, like, Killswitch came out and they're huge and they're the best at what they do. But there's a million bands that try to sound like them and none of them do it the same. So it's like, do your own thing. For me, I don't know. I've always like, whatever comes out is what's coming out. I think we intentionally wanted to be the heaviest, nastiest band we could be. And I think Mark Richard just has a natural gift with his voice that we discovered when we were young and was like, this guy can scream like nobody else and he can do it effortlessly. And he would do it in multiple bands. We would be teenagers and we would rehearse for 2-3 hours.
Wow.
And then he would go and do it with this other band he was playing with for 2 or 3 hours. Like 6 hours of screaming. Who can do that?
That's insane.
Like, I couldn't do that for one song.
Yeah, I know.
We were just talking about this because we hang out a lot. We sit on the porch and talk about this type of stuff a lot. And he was like, I don't know. I just figured out, like, there's got to be a way I can do this and do it right. And he could. And, our first reunion show in Worcester, I watched a video of that and I could tell he was really struggling in parts. And then, like, when we played the second show, it was like, holy crap, his voice is back. Like, it was... It was powerful.
Well, I think with the first show back, he was just excited.
Yeah,
I pushed it.
Yeah,
too
I think
far
all of us were.
Yeah.
There was a lot of adrenaline there. It had been 20 years.
The opening riff, I was like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So awesome.
There was something, that first show in Worcester, there was something special about that. I don't know what it was. It just...
If we were going to do another show, I wanted to have another Twin City band on the show. And Scattered Remnants, for me, they're the best death metal band in the world. And we take that for granted because they're right down the street.
Exactly.
I went to I know them
brutal,
since high
man.
school, right?
Yeah.
And like Isaac's like, I can't believe you know the guys in Scattered Remnants. I mean, we've known each other since we were 16.
Totally.
Yep.
It's just the way it is.
Scattered's one of those bands where it's if you know them, you love them.
Yeah. And when Ron said that Pete was going to be available and they were going to be able to do it, it was like, oh, yes, let's do this. So that to me was perfect. I would play shows with them every night if I could.
That's awesome.
I love them. They're great guys, great band.
Yeah.
Ron's the salt of the earth. Love that
Awesome,
guy,
dude.
Shout out Ron.
Shout out Ron.
OG Ron.
OG Ron.
Right? OG Ron. You just say that because you guys are the same height, but...
Yeah, well, that's why I'm not a pit guy. And Ron is not a pit guy either.
No, it's the fists go right over your
The
head.
fists go right over my head. Yeah,
One thing I'm glad I didn't get from you.
Yeah, my 17-year-old son is towering over me at this point. Which is why I was never a pit guy. I was a little, small, frail guy. I'm not getting in there. I'm going to get killed.
Right. So, actually, what year did Entropy officially form?
I would say 93. Well, I remember we had recorded a few songs just prior to graduation. I had a little cassette. I remember being in the gym class of our like the week of graduation in the gym of the high school going, guys, you got to hear this. And like playing it for our friends. And they were like, holy shit, what is this?
Nice.
This isn't music.
Awesome. Right. What is this garbage?
And I was really excited about it. To get your first thing down recorded is it's the best.
Oh, dude, yeah. It's the feeling recording your first stuff too is like, it's nuts. I don't know.
It's something, and the band becomes bigger than you. It becomes its own entity.
Yeah, as soon as you put it down on tape or, you record it, it becomes, that's when it becomes real, I think.
Yeah, it's out there in the world.
It's out there, it's official.
Like, okay, here's our product.
That's right.
I remember hearing the first Birchill Dam after, I think, Rucho mastered it, and I was like so proud because I know hanging out with you guys, in that time frame so much. I was like, this is awesome. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's so exciting. It
was great.
I miss it.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since we've recorded anything.
It was the last time you guys played. That was...
Birch Hill?
Yeah.
Oof.
When I was like 9 or 10.
Probably 5 years ago. I think the last show we played was in Connecticut.
Really?
Yeah. It was like right when COVID was starting. COVID is kind of what killed us.
Wow.
COVID derailed us.
Any talk of future Birchill Dam gigs?
You're for it?
I'm all for it.
All right.
That's all I can say. We're all grown adults and we all have very individual lives, and it's hard. It's hard. And I think COVID especially hurt a lot of bands. We were at a level where it was like we needed to keep the momentum going.
Yeah. Right.
And once we couldn't play shows, and it was a lot of things. We lost our rehearsal space. Personal things. Our drummer was going through a divorce, and just things happen. We just kind of got derailed and fell apart and never got back together.
Yeah.
And right now nobody really has the time, so here we are.
We were talking about you mentioned something with Entropy about people not, I know you were joking about people not really understanding.
Yeah.
And I think at the time Entropy was doing something that other bands weren't doing. Nobody was doing. And I don't think you were intending to make that sound, but that's what came out organically. I remember I saw you guys I don't remember the name of it, had a big statue in front of it. I think it's been torn down.
That was a show that got shut down, I believe.
I think you're
right. The cops showed up.
Yeah.
And the police came and that was it. They were like, this show is done.
Yeah.
I remember looking around and people were just like, some people were horrified. They were just like, what is this?
Yeah. It was a different time too.
It was a different time.
That was a time where, there wasn't metal on TV. There wasn't YouTube. There wasn't, people hadn't, the general public hadn't been exposed to this type of thing. It's a little bit more acceptable and mainstream. It's just like being heavily tattooed. I remember, and my cousin was a tattoo artist. And so I started getting tattooed when I was like 18. We're going back 30 some odd years ago. And like, here I am, a guy who's at like his full arms are tattooed. And I'm just in the grocery store and people are staring at me. And I'm like, why are these people looking at me like I'm from another planet? Oh, I have a gigantic lobster on my arm. Nobody has something like that, Right. And I think when you're breaking new ground like that, it's kind of scary for some people.
For sure.
They
don't like change, a lot of people.
No, I'm resistant to change. I think all of us are, especially as we get older. We get more comfortable in what we know. But for me, watching now SoundOutTheBraille's been playing shows now for about a year or two, and I've been to a lot of them. I can't go to all of them because they play everywhere on all nights of the week, and I can't do that anymore. I remember going to a couple of their first shows and just being blown away because they were like VFWs. And it was just like the DIY scene that we had. There was tables all set up with people with little zines and
merch,
political stuff and merch.
I love it.
And it was very diverse crowd. And it was it reminded me so much of the scene that we had when we were kids.
Yes.
Only now there's more kids. And to me, that's great because kids need that. And obviously, if you don't continue, it's going to die.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I think we've all heard that, rock and roll is going to die and that is going to die.
Yeah.
It's definitely had ebbs and flows. And eventually, some new band will come out and there's a whole new subgenre now, which I think is cool,
I think it's very cool. This is something we've talked about a lot, about the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
Some things haven't changed all that much. I love seeing the table set up with the zines and the merch and the PETA stuff and the
yeah,
it's awesome.
It's the same as when we were kids.
It's the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the sound is evolving. The sound is changing somewhat.
Certainly, it's interesting to me because like I said, I've been involved in this stoner rock scene and with Birch Hill Dam for so long. Kind of haven't really been hands-on with the hardcore scene. I've been to a lot of metal shows here and there, of course. I think that when he first started describing a lot of the bands, to me, they were deathcore bands. They weren't hardcore bands. And he's like, oh, we're a hardcore band. And I'm like, to me, a hardcore band is like Judge. Slapshot. That's a hardcore band, right? And it's so it has evolved and it's branched out. Now you get those beat down bands where I'd be terrified to even go to any of those.
Yeah, did you watch those videos?
Wow,
nasty.
There's this huge festival going on right now in New Jersey with a bunch of those
Hellfest.
Hellfest.
100 Demons.
Yeah, all those mosh bands.
Oh yeah,
it's so violent.
I'm glad we veered down this avenue because, to my ears, Sound Out the Braille sounds like a deathcore band. But I've been to your shows, and it's very much a hardcore vibe.
Yes.
I'd say we're pretty deathcore, but we have some grindcore-ish elements, especially with songs that we haven't recorded.
Yeah.
We're writing new music, and it's pretty grind-ish, death metal-ish.
Which is cool because it reminds me, that's one of the things that I don't think has changed very much, is the fact that but their sound is deathcore, right? They consider themselves a hardcore band, and I think that's very much true. And the scene itself is very much a hardcore scene, just with very diverse bands. And I think that's the way Entropy sort of fit in back in the days, because they weren't necessarily a hardcore band, sorta.
There's hardcore elements, for sure.
Yeah, I think so.
There's some punk in there.
By standards, typical hardcore standards, especially in the 90s at that time.
Yeah.
There were some bands that, grindy. Isaac's wearing a Drop Dead,
Drop Dead
t-shirt. So that really hasn't changed all that much.
No, it's always been diverse.
Yeah.
But bands used to be able to play together, I think, from different genres without issues, especially back in the day, like 490. But now I feel like it's different.
Yeah, it's different now.
Yeah. You find
those hardcore shows where it's everybody goes to those shows to mosh and to hear the beat down and the breakdown and shit.
Yep.
But it's not... I feel like people don't appreciate the thrashiness or the punkness as much anymore.
Really?
Sometimes songwriting gets lost in chasing that ultimate breakdown. I think sometimes people lose songwriting. There's a time and a place for a great breakdown. Everybody at this table, I think, loves a good breakdown. Yeah. So it's nice to, especially someone younger,
hear
them say that.
It doesn't need... breakdowns don't need to be every riff in every song,
Agreed.
There needs to be air in there.
Agreed.
Yep.
I feel the same way about squeals and harmonics.
Yeah.
They can be overused.
Yeah. Here and there is cool.
Yeah.
Zach Wild, a little bit too much for me.
Terrific
guitar player, but it's a good trick. But
what are you liking right now, Isaac?
I've been listening to this band Black My Heart, and I don't know, a lot of older metalcore-ish bands like Poison the Well.
I know it's technically a reunion, but you have a new member. It's sort of a different thing. You guys aren't trying to it seems like you're not trying to recreate the old Entropy. It's like Entropy 2.0.
Yeah, I think because we do different stuff with the songs too. We're more finished, or the stuff that we do now that I don't think they did in the 90s.
Like some of those solos and chord progressions sound a little more stoner rocky.
No. I would say that we're all much better at musicians than we were back then.
I would hope so.
I mean, I think that, when you're 17 and you've got 20 songs and you want to go in the studio and record a record, you want to record all 20 of them.
Yeah.
Which would, to me, now I look back and go, my God, we could have recorded like 6. We could have made those into like 4 albums,
right.
And probably had a little career with just on those. But
we said this morning about the podcast actually, that we probably could have whittled it down to
right. But I think that with any art or anything, you hone your craft as you go.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? So like back then, I had no idea how to harmonize a riff. Now I can hear something and go, I think we could harmonize this and make it a little more interesting, make it a little different. Isaac's a great player. He sort of offered the role. We tried to get the band back together for a while. We reached out to Mike. He was unavailable. And I totally get it, dude. No, not everybody can do this at this age.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like if you're not available to do it, that's totally fine. But and Isaac was like, I would love to play with you guys, and I said, well, I mean, I would love that too, but that's kind of not up to me. So you're going to have to like try out. And, so he worked hard. He learned our set and he played with us. And the first time he played with us, the other guys were like, yep, this is it. This is the guy.
Yeah. And I'm
like,
so
he earned
glad
it. He earned it.
Sick.
And,
well done, man.
It's been great, and like the other guys told him, like, the other guys, like Mark actually sat him down and said, listen, if we're going to be a band moving forward, you're a member of the band. We want you to speak up. We want to hear your opinions. We want your input on working on stuff, on ideas, anything. You're a full-fledged, don't be intimidated because we're all your dad's age and we want to hear from you.
Yeah, that felt good to you.
Like you represent the band as well as we do,
I'm so glad I started playing too, because I have way more fun playing bass in a band than I thought I would.
Yeah, Entropy is kind of a band that's hard not to have fun.
Yeah.
So it feels. What I'm hearing is it feels less nostalgic and more like a new chapter.
Yeah, I think so. There's definitely material that we're not going to do. We have no intention of writing anything right now. We don't have time. Period. We've learned a bunch of new songs. Like you guys have been to both of our shows that we played.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same set both times. We just kind of changed up the order. But now we've learned a bunch of new songs. We're going to start mixing them in. And I think that's what we're going to do for now. I'd like to re-record. I feel like those recordings are old and dated. And, I don't know. Maybe we should present ourselves as a new band, quote unquote. Not like a legacy.
I don't know. Those old recordings are so nasty.
They are.
I agree.
Yeah, they are.
The 7-inch.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's cool to hear someone younger appreciating the older stuff because I don't hear that a lot.
Yeah, I feel like, of course everybody kind of feels like their band was unappreciated or whatever. But, I don't really look at it like that. I was a kid. We're doing what we did, I'm glad it had an impact.
I remember like being at a show and someone like our friend Nick was like, you have to hear this band. This is right up your alley. And I was like, okay, who is he? He's the Entropy. I'm like, oh, I'll check it out. I'm like, yeah. Blast beats and everything. I'm like, this is my being another metal guy in the scene. I'm like, yes. I enjoy the hardcore and stuff too, but that was my style.
Isaac, do your friends dig Entropy too?
Yeah, some of them. I feel like a lot of my friends are they like the breakdowns, but Hayden in SoundOutTheBraille, he appreciates it. He loves grindcore.
Yeah, nice. All right. So, Isaac, you mentioned about playing drums, bass, and now I heard you're playing guitar.
Yeah.
Starting a new project. Which one? Do you have a preference? Does one feel more natural to you? Do you enjoy one more than the other? Do you like it all?
I like it all.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think I might have the most fun playing the drums, but I really enjoy playing guitar. I think I played guitar more than I played the drums, but so I can also play guitar way quieter. So
yeah. I'm sure your family appreciates that. What's going on with SoundOutTheBraille? What's next? Anything cool coming up?
We get a couple shows. We have that show July 10th on Friday in Fitchburg. And then we're writing new songs, and we're going to try and record a split. I don't know. Yeah, we have about 2 songs. Hoping to just play more shows. It's hard. There's so many bands now. There's too many, I think.
Too many bands, wow.
Are there any
Is there a lot of festivals still happening and stuff like that for smaller bands too?
It's kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious about your perspective of the scene, particularly in Massachusetts, and how people your age see it and how it feels to you guys.
I think it's very split.
In what way?
There's some people, and you can tell who it is. There's some people who are about it, and you know they're going to be in it around music for their whole life. And there's other people who go to these shows and they go for a couple years and then they fall out of it. Like you said, the pedestrians are a bit of a curse sometimes because they don't understand like the respect at a show. I feel like you've got to have respect for the venue and for the people around you. And
yes.
Some of those people don't get it. I
yeah.
feel like.
We talk about respect a lot, actually, and how it goes a long way. And showing disrespect
does nothing but
it's a pretty dumb move if you ask me.
It typically doesn't end well.
You know, I mean, I wouldn't go into somebody else's house and start mouthing off about...
That's exactly the point.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, why would you... People who aren't really... And this sounds gatekeeperish, I guess, but I think that people who aren't really a part of the scene from the outside can see that as an opportunity to just go in there and hurt somebody.
Yeah.
And...
For sure.
Yeah.
Whether they're drunk or whatever, you know what I mean? And that's not really what it's about. And you know the people who aren't about that because they're picking people up.
Right.
You know?
I think some people like you're talking about, they're just miserable. And they're like, these people are having a good time. Let's ruin that for them.
Yeah.
You know? For some reason.
And Isaac, do you like these old stories? Do you find them interesting?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I love hearing them.
All right, that's cool, man. Because sometimes I wonder if we're just like, a bunch of old guys.
Bunch of old guys on their porch rockers.
Yeah, exactly.
Back when I was a kid.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's awesome. I love hearing it because it's like this is a scene that I'm a part of, but I'm hearing how it was.
Well, I can tell you what there wasn't when we were kids, and there was none of that dumb crowd killing shit. Because that, to me, is I don't see the point. I really don't. We went to shows, right? I'm a little guy. I'm not a big guy. I'm not a big muscle guy. I'm a guy who's going to get killed in there. I take a hit the wrong way, I'll probably die. So I'm just going to stay off to the side where I know it's safe. I've never been hurt at a show. I've been doing this 35 years. I've never been hurt at a show, ever. And I've been to some of the most violent shows you can imagine. Hatebreed in Connecticut. Back in the day, I was at the first time 100 Demons played live. I was there. It was a Hatebreed show, and it was like they came out and it was like holy shit.
Yeah, I don't even think that building was standing after that.
But at 490 you could go off to the side of the stage there, and you knew like if you're not in the front, you're not right there, you're gonna be fine. You're not gonna get hurt. And now that's not necessarily the case. I see these young kids running and flying into crowds of other kids that are, not even looking.
Yeah.
And I've seen people at his shows go out in stretchers.
Yeah.
Like literally.
What?
So.
Well, Isaac, you said earlier that a lot of people are just looking for that breakdown so that they can go sick, essentially.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are people's feelings, particularly? I know you don't speak for the entire generation, but what are people's feelings? Is it like crowd killing more acceptable among people your age?
It can be. It usually those people who are crowd killing, they crowd kill their friends or people who aren't going to take it the wrong way. You say that they don't look, and they don't, but you can tell who you can crowd kill and who you can't. I mean, It's kind of always going to be a shot in the dark, I feel like.
Always. Sometimes you choose wrong. We've talked about this, about reading the room.
Yeah, that's a
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's okay. You can get away with it.
Different scenes.
Different scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beatdown scene,
I've been
again,
Yeah.
that's what they do. I read comments on Instagram like, well, it's understood that's what happens. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, your whole conversation about consent, like you're going to the show.
That's your consent.
I mean, that's kind of...
But not
Yeah.
to get destroyed. It's your consent.
No,
And maybe
exactly. I mean, I know I could get injured at a show.
Right.
But I take steps, me personally, I know that could happen. So I'm not going to put myself down in the front when I know terror's coming on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not, you know what I mean?
And-
if you're a municipal waste guy and you want to get in that circle pit and dude, go for it. That's
Just with
totally
the beach
fine.
ball,
Yeah,
totally.
You know
Get
what I
on the
mean?
surfboard.
Like,
Yeah.
that's a different scene too than a hardcore
We also
pit,
speak
for
from experience. We have the benefit of being able to look back and,
Right.
and say, I would never do that now, but
Right.
I'm sure I made a few mistakes.
Oh, I've...
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Sure, but I think, as a human, a survival instinct is there. Like if I see something going down, it's like, whoa, I'm not going to stand next to that barrel that's on fire. It's going
Right,
to explode in a
exactly.
few minutes, right?
Seriously.
Like I might want to get out of the way.
Yeah, and it's like the people who get really mad at people when they get hit, but they're like standing on the edge, and it's like you
Well,
see these kids
It
swinging
happened,
around.
it happened
and-
at our show, and Isaac called the guy out.
I had to
Like,
push
dude,
that.
if you don't want to get hit, don't get mad at these kids who are dancing right here. Go on the other side of the wall there where you won't get hit.
That's why I hang in the back.
That exactly. That's
Yeah,
what old
and
dudes do.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I had to
There's-
push somebody back at that show. I don't know if it was one of maybe your friends, but I saw like a fight trying to happen. I was just like, nope.
yeah.
Just get over there. You get
Yeah.
over there. Let's not make this happen. That's,
It's an interesting scene. So there's a guy who came to that show as a guy who I work with, and he's like in his 70s.
Wow.
He's an artist. He has
Oh, I
never
think I seen you talking to him,
never
actually.
been to a metal show, never any of that. Like this is like a Bob Dylan guy, And he's like, but we're good friends. He knows I love art and music, and he's like, I'm coming to your show, and I'm like, dude, this is not for everybody. Like, you are welcome. I would love it if you came, but be prepared. Like, you know what I mean? And he came, and when he got there early, and Sound Out the Braille played first, and when that pit started, like I came over and I was like, how's it going? And he's like, dude, when your son's band started playing, I thought a fight broke out. And I was like, no, they were just dancing. He's like, well, I realized that after.
Yeah.
So you were right. This is not like,
To a casual observer, it looks like a fight.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was on the other side of the wall. He was totally safe.
Yeah, but that's
You know,
where
like-
that other guy who got pissed at Joao. That's where he should have been. It's like you can't get mad at these kids for swinging their arms.
Yeah.
I agree. Now, I'm also going to play the counter on that, which is sometimes we go back to respect. You got to understand that not everybody's going to enjoy getting punched in the face.
No.
So you can say, oh, you shouldn't have been standing there, but, there's a mutual responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
But with that being said, if you don't want to get hit, just get out of the way, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the thing is with most of these shows, though, in my opinion, most people aren't going to these things for the first time by themselves. They're usually going with a friend who's, hey, come to this show.
Right.
Right. Now, if I'm that friend, I'm going to say, hey, before this band comes on, let's go over here, stand over here. Now, Sound Out the Braille played a show last summer. My cousin was up from New Orleans with his kids who are like 10, 11 years old. And they were like, we're coming to your son's show. We want to see them. And I'm like, okay, but just stay off to the back. And they did. And they were fine. And they were completely freaked out. They had never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
But they're actually coming up here this week. And they're like, we're coming to his show. We want to go. It's so fun.
Nice.
So
That's awesome.
I think as the host, like if you're bringing somebody to a show like that, you're sort of the host, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Like, it's your duty to warn the people, hey,
It's
so
you've listened to all the episodes. I think I told a story about I brought two people to their first show. It was Hatebreed and Sworn Enemy at Mamikins.
oh boy,
Oh, sorry, Bill's Bar, which
holds like 100 people.
yeah. And I'm like, here we go. Get ready, guys.
Boy.
And we're like standing on one of the tables because it's just mayhem, obviously. Like, we might not make it out of here, just so you know. So call your mother. But it was crazy.
So how does the scene feel now to you guys. So you're playing out again. It's been a while since you've played out, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so
Especially for Entropy, it's been
exactly
over 20 years. Yes.
What was that last show in Clinton? That last show?
Which one? The last Entropy show?
Yeah.
Yes, that was in Clinton.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're sort of
I have a story about that, actually.
Go.
The last Entropy
go.
show took place a little over 17 years ago. Isaac was there. He was in my wife's belly at the first reunion show.
Whoa.
And the next show, he's in the band.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So that's kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
Maybe that's what indoctrinated me into the scene.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Talk about a fist to the pregnant belly.
Right.
So how does it feel as someone returning and someone who's been involved for a while and younger and up and coming, how does it feel?
Like I said before, to me, it just feels like there's more kids.
Yeah.
There's more people, you know. I mean, they have the skate park in Boston, Lynch. There's hardcore shows there all the time.
Yeah, there's one coming up,
He
actually.
plays shows there. I mean, I've been to shows there that they've played in. There's hundreds of kids there.
yeah.
You know, it's a real thing, you know.
I think Lynch definitely attracts the random people on the street.
Oh, sure. Well, it's right
Like,
there.
Yeah. I think the scene now feels watered down compared to what I've heard as it was. Just because there's more of those people who are just coming in and going to shows and aren't going to be going to a show in a year.
Yeah.
You know, they don't understand what's happening. And I feel like there's a lot more of those people.
Do you think it's because this music has become more, I don't want to use the word mainstream, but
It has.
Yeah.
It's Instagram, yeah.
Acceptable.
social media. We
Yeah.
talk about this a lot, how social media has really changed the environment.
Yeah.
As a whole, the scene as a whole, it's people who've never had access to it has access.
Yeah, and those people who are getting introduced from Instagram are like, it's way more sensitive. How like the older bands, someone was doing something wrong, they'd beat the shit out of them or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
If that happened now at a show, that band would have to break up if they did that because they'd get canceled.
Yeah, I see.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's
Weren't you guys talking about something happened at a show with the
recently. Yeah,
Banana Man guy at a show?
Yeah, Banana Man.
costume or something?
yeah.
At the end of the show.
Yeah,
They like made up though, apparently.
yeah, but Enda got kicked off that tour.
Yep.
Because they called out some guy in a costume.
It's a business.
Yeah.
That's
You
the
know what I
thing.
mean?
Hatebreed was the headliner, and they're
And
like, it's their
Hatebreed's not
career.
going to. I mean, they're at a point in their careers where they're not going to jeopardize. You know,
That seems it's so true, but it's so frustrating for me too because it seems like so anti-hardcore to me. You know what I mean? To be like, oh, it's business. We're kicking you off the tour, or especially for something like that. You know,
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, I get it. Being in a touring band right now is downright almost impossible, I would say.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, for the bands that are actually able to keep it up and do it and survive, they're not going to take the risk of, you know, it costs a lot of money to take a band on tour.
I remember like
a lot.
there was an interview with Dave Mustaine last year or something. He said we can't afford days off. It costs us like $100,000 for a day off.
Yep.
I'm like, what? All the crew they got to pay.
No,
the
you're
bus?
talking about big operations, you know,
Yeah,
like
with
you know,
buses
you're
and
talking
stuff.
about
Yep.
shipping, trailer trucks of gear and
Right,
you know,
stage shows.
it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
You know, to operate a band. I mean, at Birch Hill had gotten to the point where like we were breaking even. I felt pretty great about that. Like, hey, we're actually functioning. It's functioning on its own, and it's not draining me financially to
You
do
can pay
this.
for your gas to get there.
I'm actually at least getting my money back.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's really hard as, you know, hardcore bands, especially because, you know, you think of Hatebreed as a big band in our scene.
Right.
They're a big
right,
band,
right.
but they're not a big band in the world. Like, they're a world-renowned hardcore band, sure.
Biggest
but
hardcore band of all time.
Yeah.
I would
I'd
say probably, yeah.
They have to be.
And you know what? Good for them.
Yeah.
Because
They earned it.
Jamie was 12 years old at show. I remember Josta 14 playing at 490. I think it was with us. And Jamie was there. He must have been 14 years old. And he was like you could tell that was his life.
Yeah,
He was,
exactly.
I'm going to make this happen. And he worked. Nobody worked harder in the scene. He made a lot of enemies, I guess, among people and whatever, as a kid. But hey, man, he worked really hard, man.
Yep, he lived it.
And you can't do it otherwise.
Right.
So
they played anywhere.
Yep.
In 1995, I went with Dive on tour.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, we went down, starting in DC and played a couple shows in Virginia. Joss the 14 was on that tour. Jamie was like 14 or 15 at the time.
And Veckel was in the band.
Mm-hmm.
He played in this band Lord Fowl, who played a lot of shows with Birchill.
I remember
He was a
them.
good friend of mine. Yeah. Small world.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Dive guys were young at the time, too.
Yeah.
So there's these two bands, essentially two bands of teenagers touring out of the back of a
It's insane,
a
right?
rider truck.
And this is like pre-GPS.
Pre-GPS.
This is pre-internet.
Yeah. All of that.
You're just out there.
Out there.
And Pentagram?
Mm-hmm.
You guys must know who Bobby Liebling is. You must have seen the video. There was a viral video of him sweating on stage and his eyes bugging out. And it was like all over Instagram. Well, we went to see them, and you could tell that there was like quite a few people that were at that show simply because they saw the Instagram reel.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're like trying to start a mosh pit at a Pentagram show. It's like, dude, this is a classic rock band. What are you doing?
To go back to Isaac's point, I miss the days where it wasn't so corporate.
Yeah.
Just in the moment.
And it was real.
And it was
The
real.
people were
Yeah.
there because they really loved the bands or they loved the scene. They weren't there just to get clicks.
Yeah.
You were there because you knew about it.
Maybe I can get a viral video and
Yeah,
make some money
right.
on YouTube. It's,
Well, even the bands too, like we're saying, they had to actually go out with like an actual map
Yeah.
and earn it. Like try and get there to the venue, and you can't post, "Hey, we're going to be here." They have to actually flyer it and everything. So do the hard work, So it's just totally different.
These little shows, the dive bars and the VFW halls and those things feel genuine
They feel the same.
to me. They
Yeah,
feel the
love
same.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where you're going to find the real people doing the real work, real working class bands or whatever. That's where you're going to find them.
And that's
you're
why
going to find a lot of garbage.
and those are some of the best shows that I've ever seen.
But, oh, yeah.
Is there a favorite show you've had so far, Isaac?
Yeah. I have one that I look back on a lot.
Yeah.
'Cause, my old band Fat Cap played this show at Lynch Skate Park. I don't know. It's just a lot of people there. A lot of my friends were there. It's just a good show.
Right on.
Good vibes.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite, Sam?
Oh, like a hardcore show?
Any show that you've played. Any
Oh,
band.
that we've played.
Yeah. And that you've been to. We'll go to the band to after first that you've played.
I can think of a couple that I've been to for you guys.
For Entropy?
Entropy and definitely BHD for sure. Two great virtual shows, actually.
Refresh my memory.
Definitely the Testament show, the Palladium.
Yes,
That
we
was
did
awesome.
play at the Palladium.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was...
And up in New Hampshire at that, was it Meadowbrook or whatever?
Guilford.
The Guilford,
Yeah.
when we were
Played
like,
with Corn.
we were drinking a bunch of Corn's beers. Remember that?
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
They had
That
like
is
this big
so
bucket, just like
nuts.
Corn were like,
Yeah. That was, what's funny? That was Jeff's first show with us. He had just joined the band.
I
And
didn't
he was like,
realize that.
this is our first... Dude, it's all downhill from here.
Right,
we
right.
don't normally play big stadiums with Corn.
So funny.
Dude, that's so nuts.
That guy had a hell of a pedal board, though. Whew. I'd never seen anything like that before. He had 2 sheets of plywood on stage, one on each side, and they were completely filled with guitar pedals.
That's insane.
It was like, dude, how do you even... You gotta have like 3 people just to run your rig here while you're playing. But he was a cool guy. He was friendly. They treated us really good. They were really good guys. So, hey, awesome.
I just took your memory, so that's good.
Yeah. No, I mean, we played, Birchill played some really good shows. Like we played in New York City with 60 Watt Shaman and Wino. That was a really good show.
Was that
I think
the one
you were
that
there.
Kate and I went to that.
Yeah. That was a really good one. Yeah, you've named a few.
Yeah.
Entropy played. My fondest memory of an Entropy show ever was we got invited to play in Poughkeepsie with Dissolve.
Oh,
Now,
sick.
this is like 4 hours away from us, right? I'm like 17. So we had a van. We drove out. It was like, this is our first. I have a picture on my fridge of our band from that day. Standing next to the van, like we're going off to our first out-of-state show. You know? And we got to Poughkeepsie. We had never been there. We had no idea what this club was going to be like. We get in there, and it's like the Palladium downstairs, and it's packed. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. We were like the second band. We come on stage. They had like curtains. The curtains opened up before we played. And that place went absolutely shithouse for us. They were singing along the lyrics to the songs. I'm like, how do these people even know who we are? This is long before YouTube and all that. It was
awesome.
That blew me away. That was like, oh my goodness, how did this happen? That was a big memory for me as a kid.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's so cool.
Yeah, but honestly, this last show at Ralph's, the first reunion show for me,
Awesome.
first time on stage with him. And everybody was super warm to him. Everyone was like, you know, he got his license that day.
Yeah.
But it was a really good moment, I think, you know, good dad and son moment.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
How about that show? There was a show in Templeton. What was that venue that was kind of there? It was a show Sam Black played. I think you guys played it too.
Oh, no, that place is called Camelot now. I forget what it was called before. It was an old bar. I think Cast Iron Hike played there too. No, it's not the Red Onion. No, that's Birch Hill played there. That's a different place.
Last time I was at the Red Onion, I left injured. Ended up with, 11, 12 stitches.
Ooh.
What show was that?
That was Birch Hill Dam.
Oh, jeez.
It was Mike's birthday, actually.
Oh,
that explains it.
I ended up
so he beat you up for his birthday?
No, I was taking photos. I get hit behind because I was standing too close to the pit. And I get hit behind.
At the Red Onion
pit?
They had a pit, and I ended up in the emergency room covered in cake.
Yes.
That cake was all over Mike's face and all over my pedals.
It was all over me.
That was
And the triage nurse said, were you drinking? And I said, what makes you say that?
Are you judging me?
There's frosting in your blood.
Yeah. Just like covered in frosting and like
is that cream cheese
blood
frosting?
spurting out of my face, you know. What?
You're like, I just came from the Red Onion. Like, oh, you were drinking.
Yeah. Oh,
Good
you
God.
should have started with the Red Onion. Yeah.
Did you guys play that
Was it
show?
Killian's?
Killian's Pub. That's it.
Yeah, no, we didn't play there.
Okay. I remember you guys, I think you were there, right?
It was there. I remember Sam Black Church played there. I didn't go. I don't even think I was at that.
Oh, you
show
didn't?
for
'Cause
some
that's-
reason, but
That was
maybe
a show.
I was. I don't know.
Were you at that show?
I don't know.
I think Cast Iron Hike played there.
I think
too
they did
once.
too, yeah. But when Sam Black played, you know, because they had that bar next door, some dude, some random, like, older dude just walks over like he's going to, like, you know, run the show. Starts railing people in the face.
Oh, no.
And so he goes to walk away. I don't know what came over me. I just ran behind him and shoved him into, like, the brick wall on the side. He's like, boom! And he falls down. The guy was huge, right? He gets up and thought it was actually Kyle. So he's standing behind me. And he goes to swing, misses him, and Kurt grabs him. Jet jumps off stage, grabs him, and they throw him out. I was like,
no.
sweet. It was awesome. It's like, where are we? You know,
Yeah.
Templeton. Like, okay.
Keep it classy, Templeton.
I know. He's like, I'll mess these kids up. I'm like, no.
No, you won't.
No.
Looking back on it, do you think the Twin Cities scene was special, or is it just that everybody thinks their scene was special?
I think the Twin Cities scene was special. I mean,
Well, I think the pedigree of people who have come out of this scene and gone on to be influential worldwide says something.
That's a good point.
It has to.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
valid.
I mean, to me, Overcast was like one of the first metalcore bands, period. You know, they were one of the first bands to do that. And maybe we took it for granted because they were here. But
I think I took it for granted at the time. Looking back on it, I feel like it was special, but sometimes I wonder if it's just nostalgia. Isaac looks on it and thinks it's special. And is that from the way we talk about it, or is it just...
yeah, I mean, that, and also, like, nobody knows really that Leominster or Fitchburg had a scene. Like,
right.
My friend Christian, who lives in Fitchburg, didn't know that until I told him. And he goes to shows. And there's very few people now who know that there was a hardcore scene there.
And do you think there's a scene, quote unquote, scene now?
I think it's coming back.
Yeah.
Sure, that Canvas place is
the
going to help it.
Canvas. Yeah.
There's bands. That guy DeAndre, that he has a band, Providence. They played at the Palladium recently.
Yeah.
Big show.
Yeah, downstairs Palladium.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I want to see more.
Yeah,
there's definitely enough
band,
people,
That band that I'm playing a guitar in, that's all Twin City kind of kids.
Right on.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think things are different now. I think the scene is more diverse, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's more open to different types of people. It's easier. Like just from my viewpoint as a kid, we're not from Boston. We're from outside of Boston. And as a hardcore-ish band, trying to break into that scene was very, very difficult in the day when we were kids. There was like the Boston scene, and they didn't want anything to do with kids that weren't from the city.
That's right.
And I think that now it's much more. SoundOutTheBraille is welcome with open arms over there, and people love them and go to their shows. So, I feel like it's a little bit easier to be welcomed into the scene now than it was, if that makes sense.
That does make sense.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. That's also why I think that it's a little bit worse, just because it attracts anyone and everyone.
Well, that's going to be the case with any art form of any kind that gets recognition or notoriety, or the more people exposed, there's always that one person in the crowd.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's just
yeah. We did an episode about that. We talked about a couple of times. We've talked about this, about the pros and cons. Like you have to be willing to welcome new people in, but the risk is that sometimes it can dilute the scene a little bit. You said water down, and that can happen. And you see it changes it. And when I say I miss like the basement shows and the AMVETs and those shows. They just feel different. They feel more real. They feel genuine. They feel raw.
Yeah.
Whereas when I go to a place like the Roadrunner, and I'm not picking on Roadrunner, I'm just saying it's a big stage.
It's less intimate.
Big venue, yes. And so for something like hardcore, I just don't. It just feels different to me.
Yeah, that band.
But I don't think any. Are there any hardcore bands that are going to sell out Roadrunner?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, 100.
Really?
Yeah,
Who?
Have Heart. They just got back together and they booked a show upstairs Middle East and at the Roadrunner, and Roadrunner sold out in like a minute.
I saw Have Heart there a couple of years ago.
Did you?
They sold it out. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's how disconnected I am from the scene, but realizing that the bands are that big.
Converge will sell
Converge. Blood for Blood did, I think.
At Roadrunner?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it's a totally different thing.
Yeah. You know what? It's I can liken that to the Metallica thing, right? Like when Metallica became huge after the Black Album, it was like different, right? And being somebody who had them as this is like our thing. Now everybody has access to it, so it does make it a little less special and exclusive in a way. But yeah, I think with art, you kind of have to take what you can get, especially if you're trying to make a living. You know what I mean? You got to keep the scene alive, and that's gonna. I mean, any crowd of people, you're gonna have bad apples. Go to a sporting event.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
I mean, go to a Red Sox game. How many dickheads are drunk and acting like assholes over there? Like, so, you're always going to have a few. And especially when there's booze for sale.
Yeah. I feel like it's
happen.
It's unavoidable.
It's unavoidable.
Yeah, sure.
It's any crowd. It's not just metal music or anything like that. So I take that stuff with a grain of salt, really. I mean, I'm in it for the music. I'm in it for the art. And I'm in it for the camaraderie, really. You know what I mean? That's one of those things about being in a band that's really different for people that aren't in bands, or it becomes a family.
Yeah.
These guys are like my best friends. You're on the road living in a van together. It's you guys against the whole world. You look out for each other. That's how it goes.
It is.
I made friends on tour that I went and saw the Quill in Las Vegas in January. I hadn't seen him in 14 years because we toured with him. It's just like, oh, those are my guys. They're coming to the U.S. I got to go over there and see them. I don't know.
I bet it felt like it wasn't 14 years.
It was amazing.
Yeah,
they got to meet Isaac.
Yeah.
They got to meet my friend Mark.
So,
it was a really good time.
What's your take on that? On not just the Quill, but on all of it.
On like him on touring.
Or touring, it feeling like a family.
Oh, it's real. Yeah, it's 100% real. I think it is, because when we toured, we became those guys are like my brothers.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a feeling. I don't know.
Yeah, you have to trust the people you're with too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Last summer he went and played a show down in New York City. I didn't go with him.
That's right.
It was just him and the band. He's 16 years old with his friends. We're going to New York to play a show.
Yeah.
Most parents would be like, absolutely not. But I lived it. I know what he's doing. I know where he's going. You know what I mean? Like, I know he'll be fine. I know he's got people looking out for him, and it's a good life experience.
Yeah.
You got any questions? What do you got?
Yeah, what do you got?
What do I got? Well, I was just thinking about... Yeah, I got all the answers. I was thinking about what is everyone's... we do like a riff of the week.
Riff of the week.
Yeah. So
yeah,
what is
we
it?
like to close with a riff of the week. So it could be something you're liking right now.
Doesn't have to be new. Just anything,
What do you listen to? What's your riff of the week?
What do you got going on?
TikTok by Black My Heart.
TikTok by Black Mind. Sweet. All right.
I've been listening to this band Greenleaf a lot.
Greenleaf.
They're a Swedish band, stoner rock band.
Okay.
Really great.
Any song in particular?
Yeah, Ocean's Deep.
Ocean's Deep.
Yes, very, very cool. It's not metal. It's not metal, but it's cool.
Right on. People can check these out on if they go to the podcast page on Spotify. They can
do a playlist.
Yeah, or check out our playlist.
Yeah. All right,
nice.
What's yours there, Patrick?
What are you listening to, man?
What am I listening? Why don't you go first, Andy?
All right. Mine is from the new 100 Demons, the first track. The very first breakdown is so massive.
Oh, that album is really good.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it just gets better.
For somebody who's not been involved in that scene hands-on, I've been listening to that record and been like, wow, these guys are the real deal.
And they're another band, too. I feel like they're in the hardcore scene, but they're pretty metal.
Yeah, they're pretty metal, yeah.
Sure. I've always kind of gravitated towards those bands, too.
Metallic
All Out War.
They're
like
metal.
For those
they
who are
metal.
crucified, that record is just, that first song on there.
Dude, that band, unreal.
It's like hardcore with Slayer.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, dude, All Out War is awesome.
Oh, yeah. All Out War is great.
They're a metal band. As far as I'm concerned, they're metal.
I 100%. I think they're a metal band too. Their very first record blew my mind when it came out.
Oh, that's which one's that? Truth in the Age of Lies.
It's got like a black.
Yes.
I think a black and white.
Yep.
Cover.
It's kind of yellowish a little bit.
If I have that right. My song. I didn't come prepared, so that's nothing new, really.
We didn't prepare either.
Initially, I was going to say 100 Demons song. I really like Meat for the Beast, but I didn't. I'm not going to go with that because that's
it's a different song.
Andy,
see what I'm going to deal with.
So I am going to go with this song called Bone Song by Battlegrave.
Battlegrave.
Yeah, dude. It's death metal. Little death metal, little hardcore. Super fast in places, but with all those slow, nasty breakdowns as well. I really like the band. There's some thrash elements in there. But this band, this song Bone Saw, there's a part in it that is ridiculously fast. And then it just goes right into this nasty breakdown. So that's my song.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Sweet.
So it was a pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, awesome. This has been Two Mics, No Masters. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Later.
Later.
No masters, two